Alright guys, tonight I am going to finish taking out my rear shock. I've got socket Torx bit here. Okay. Rear shock is out. Good morning. Well, it's almost noon actually. Today, gonna work on the rear shock. I already started a little bit. Taking the spring off. This spring is rated for I think 180 pounds to like 210 stock. My body weight's 225, plus if I have 30-40 pounds of luggage, then the stock spring is going to be a little soft for me, which I think it is. It's not bad, but I like riding with a stiffer suspension because I can use my body weight to flex it quite a bit. So I have a new Slavens Racing spring here that's rated for like 160, 170 pounds. I use the Tusk. I bought the Tusk spring compressors. I just used it real quick on that one. It worked really good. So I would recommend investing in these if you're going to work on your rear shock at all, changing spring or rebuilding them yourself. These are going to definitely be worth it. And now I will have no worries about rebuilding my shock almost every year, if not every 2 years, with either a new seal and or oil, replacing the oil. So this tool is going to come in handy in the future to be able to do that. So that's that. I was going to write down how many clicks the stock settings are, so I'm going to find a marker. And it's about 20, so okay, I got all of my clicks counted. Did a slight wipe down real quick, and then we're going to release the air next. The nitrogen air. Okay. Okay, I took the bolt out of here that let the gas out. This, it had this little O-ring on it. What I did is kind of, well, really, you can measure it by putting this O-ring on there and letting it slide, how far this goes in. But you want this setting to be about the same. So I just marked it with a Sharpie right on the end there. And my measurement's right at 55 millimeters. So I think that's good. Stock, I think it goes into about 60. And then you want to be roughly 5 millimeters from full on in. And we'll set that once we fill the oil, refill the oil, and get things set at the exact right spot. And then we can fill the nitrogen at the last step. So that's why you want that measurement. So I'm going to write that down. Find my marker. Whatever I did with it. Okay. I think we're just going to pop this off now. And then we got push the seal down, and there's a little like catch ring that comes out, and then it'll let you pull the shaft out with all of the oil. So let's get that. Might need to get a little bit of a hammer device. Okay. Okay. Kind of grimy. Move that up. I'm going to move that up. I'm going to grab a zip tie. Zip tie that up. Oh shoot, you don't even need that. You can just press it by hand. Come on. There she is. Okay. Really dirty in there, which isn't good. Don't like that. But that's what the seal's for, is keep the dirt on top and not down in there. Okay, let's set that there. Once that seals out, you can just pull the shaft out. And then I've got to go get something to dump this oil in. Alright, I got this emptied out, and now on this back side here there's a compression valve. Basically, it's a 24mm socket and my trusty little stubby 1/2-inch ratchet. And once you undo this, there'll be some more oil come out, which I want to kick my tray underneath here. There's a spring on this, and then there's a little like washer slash, yeah, washer in here. Hard to see. I think what we do next is we're going to end up taking this off, and then we got to take this top nut off, this nut off, a lot of this stuff here, and then this is the seal that we're going to replace that goes down in there. So we want to replace that in the O-ring so we have a new internal. And then we're going to pull all this off, and I got a new bottom boot for this. So that's the step. And then we start filling it back up with oil, get everything back in. So yeah, we're about halfway through. Well, trip the breaker. Too much electric running. They got electric heaters running in the garage. And there we go. So the reason you heat it, it's got thread lock on it. And so that softens that thread locked up. Lets it stretch. Break free. Well, it's off, but there we go. Okay, I gotta turn the breaker back on. Alright, we got lights. There's a lot of pieces here. A lot of pieces of washers. I don't even see them all. But I am going to put those on a screwdriver. Too many parts. I got the nut off. So I believe what's next is this 22mm bolt here. I don't have a 22 wrench, so I'm going to use an adjustable. Make sure I'm on there nice and tight. Screwdriver. Okay. There's his old seal. So this is another tool, this Tusk bullet. It slides down and meets the edge of this so that the seal can slide on and without getting damaged. This bullet up a little bit. There. It goes on all the way. Now, got a screwdriver with all of our bits on it. I did get a new ring here, but I mean, I guess it is. I don't know how it would wear out. It's metal or steel, but I will go ahead and change that out. Oh no, this battery's about right. Let's put a new battery in it. Yikes. 29.5. 2.5. Okay.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits. You can break me down, but
Okay. So put this last shims on. I'm following a video. A little bit of thread locker. I think I'm going to put it inside the nut because I don't want to get it on those shims. Kind of spin this around, let it get worked in a little bit. Okay. Okay, now rotating this. And I gotta take a syringe, which the syringe I found, the only one I could find is dinky. So this might take a minute. My desk is, workbench is too full.
Let's have a bit of fun till our downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love.
Not too bad. I'm gonna get the air bubbles out of here. So I got fluid in there, full, all the way to the top. Okay. I believe I gotta tighten this. Okay. Put this piston inside of here, and then we're gonna push it all the way in, supposedly. Which I think this one's already in. Yeah. Okay. Not sure what else to do on that. Fill it until you got an inch from the top. That's about an inch. This is a nitrogen filling bolt that allows a needle with this one to go into it, kind of like pumping up a ball. But it allows you to fill it with nitrogen, which today I only have a compressed air pump for a mountain bike shock. So that's what I'll be using to put air in. We got our shock back, our rear shock, and it's got the nitrogen in it. It's ready to go. All I got to do is put this heavier spring on. This is the stock spring, and I got a Slavings Racing heavier spring for my body weight and the extra luggage. So we got to put our spring compressors on it. Go a little bit more. There we go. Okay, I gotta do some cleanup and then we are going to install this rear shock. These bolts are the same size, so the top and the bottom are the same, and there's some thread lock on here. So I'm gonna take a wire brush, kind of clean these threads off. Actually, I think I want to do the top first because with no suspension, this is down and this is short. So it's going to be harder to lift and put this in. So I'm going to take this back out, hopefully. We're going to start at the top. Here we go. Okay, now might have to jack up the rear. got that in. I just picked up a new trailer last night. I've been working for a year or so. I finally got a diesel truck, and I got it in the purpose to find a toy hauler slash camper. Okay, so I got the bolt in. All I had to do is really just move by hand the swing arm up and down while I put force in on the bolt. And alright, mud guard is on. Okay, now I've got to work on installing the power commander. So I've got to read some instructions and so on, but I'll be right back and we'll start this. I'm hoping to get the power commander in and the intake in and get the subframe back on and get the tank and stuff like that back on this weekend. And then if I can get to that, all of this work will be done, and all I'll have to do is the wheel bearings, which shouldn't take real long, and then the front fork seals and new oil, a little bit heavier weight oil in the front, and then we should be back running.